Hello all, welcome to Advanced Engineering Physics Crystallography Part 6. This is Dr. S. Deepthi, Assistant Professor in Physics, Department of H&S, MLR Institute of Technology. So today we are going to learn about scanning electron microscope, its block diagram and working principle. What is scanning electron microscope? Yes, today we are so many times learning this scanning about the scanning electron microscope. So there are so many electron microscopes which determine about the inner parts of anything. Okay, so there are you might have listened about MRI scans and all. They will check our body parts. You might have all of us well known about X-rays, right? When any hand is broken or when anything is happened, they'll say first go and get the X-ray. What does X-ray means? X-ray gives us the inside what is there inside our body and at what position our bones are arranged at that point and all. So we can know about that clearly by doing X-rays. And also we have learned about X-ray diffraction in the previous slides. What is X-ray diffraction? It diffracts about the materials, the light diffracts about the materials composition and we can know about the material composition. Likewise, SEM, scanning electron microscope, also has a purposeful meaning in determining about a material's structure in detail, in depth of the material structure. Like our X-rays, we can compare this one as with our X-rays or MRI scans and whatever may be the scans. It scans by sending some amount of energy, light energy. We can scan the material. So, what is a SEM? SEM is a scanning electron microscope. Is a powerful imaging tool. Yes, imaging tool that scans a focused beam of electrons over a sample surface to produce high resolution 3-dimensional images at nanoscale. So, what will get? High dimensional, high resolution 3D images. 3D images means the images that can be seen as if they are exactly what exactly they mean. So, this is what we can observe through scanning electron microscope. It excels in revealing surface topography, morphology and composition. So, the three major parts we can have from the scanning electron microscope. One is surface topography. Topography means if a material is represented in this manner. For example, a material is a small cube of material is taken or a small rectangular piece of material is taken and that material is going we are going to keep the material under scanning electron microscope. Then what we can observe? We can observe the materials topography. Topography means materials surface composition, how the materials, how the atoms are arranged, how the atomic arrangement is there, or how these can be regulated. Okay, how the atoms can be regulated like that. Okay, morphology. This also tells about materials inner the atomic arrangement also. Okay, this is morphology. And composition, how the materials through which materials through which matter the materials are composed. These can be known through the scanning electron microscope. Okay. So, SEM operates by accelerating electrons, typically 0.2 to 40 kilo electron volts, from an electron gun through a condenser lens to form a fine probe 0.4 to 5 nanometer spot size. So, the spot size is very less of the order of nanometers. Okay, 0.4 to 5 nanometers, which rests across the sample in a vacuum chamber. Interactions generate secondary electrons for topography. This is for topography. Secondary electrons are generated and backscattered electrons for composition, contrast and X-rays for elemental analysis via EDS. So, these are the things that we can have from the scanning electron microscope. Next, so coming to the block diagram of SEM. So, what is the block diagram of SEM? A scanning electron microscope illustrates its electron column, scanning system, detectors, signal processing chain for detailed surface imaging. Its working principle relies on raster scanning focused electron beam across a sample to detect the emitted signals, enable nanoscale 3D visualization. So, look at the complete diagram, block diagram. So, while looking at the block diagram, so what are the components? First, electron gun and column. What is it? Electron gun and column gives, generates and focuses the beam, includes scan coils for XY deflection. Okay. Sample chamber houses non-conductive samples coated with gold or carbon to prevent charging. Detectors, secondary electrons for the surface detail, backscattered electron for atomic chamber contrast. Okay. So, before going to in detail explanation, let us see the figure. So, in the figure, an electron gun is there, a filament is there where the electrons are released from this one, and these released out electrons are going to incident on the specimen. Okay. So, in between what happens? There are condenser lens, first condenser lens and second condenser lens used to lay a path to the electron beam. So, they are going, these electron beams are going to incident on the specimen in a particular direction when they undergo through condenser lens. These condenser lens are going to see the path of the electrons. Just the electrons are going to move in a particular manner and they are going to incident on the specimen. Okay. So, these are going to incident on the specimen. So, next, after that, these electrons are going to pass through scanning coil. So, in order to prevent their deviation from their path, the scanning coil is used, and the scanning coil scans the electrons that are coming from the electron gun, and these electrons are going to incident on the specimen. Okay. So, after they are incident on the specimen, what happens here? These electrons will be just scattered in all directions, and secondary electrons will be generated. Where does the secondary electrons generated? The secondary electrons are generated from the surface of the specimen. The surface of the specimen consists of the specimen. What does the specimen means? It is a crystalline structure, whatever may be the structure. It consists of atoms, electrons and all. Whenever the electrons comes and incident on the particular specimen, then the electrons in the on the surface of the specimen, the electrons on the surface of the specimen are going to just will be activated by the electrons that are incident on the specimen, and these electrons will be activated. Electrons of the specimen will be activated, and the activated electrons are the backscattered electrons. Okay. So, the generated electrons will be there. These electrons will be just, we can note these electrons will be scattered in all directions, and we can note the image by CRO and all. CRO is a cathode ray oscilloscope. Then it just gives us the images of the particular specimen. Okay, this is the way how the working principle of the scanning electron microscope and how the electrons are going to process through the path. Okay, so this is the way we can understand. Okay, next, so what does it mean? How the electrons are emitted? The electrons emitted from the gun tungsten filament are field emission and accelerated by anode to 0.2 to 40 kilo electron volts, forming a probe reduced to 0.5 to 5 nanometers. Okay, so they are going to form a probe of the order of 0.4 to 5 electron volts. Okay, so this probe, the probe means the electrons are going to move in a particular sequential order via condenser lens and apertures. Scanning coils deflect the beam in a raster pattern over the sample surface. Okay. When the beam interacts with the sample, what happens here? It penetrates 1 to 5 micrometers. So, the penetration length of the electrons will be of the order of 1 to 5 micrometers. Excited atoms that emit. Okay. Secondary electrons, they generate from the surface. Yes. 5 to 50 nanometers depth. Yield peaks at steep angles for topography, bright edges. So, what they form? Secondary electrons they generate from the surface. Okay. Secondary electrons means the electrons that are situated on the surface of the specimen. So, the electrons that are situated on the surface of the specimen, when the electrons that are incident on the surface, these electrons get activated by the incident electrons and the electrons will be moving out. Okay. This yields us good peaks at steep angles. Okay. For topography or bright edges. Okay. So, what does it gives? It gives the about the surface, how the surface is going to be, how the surface is designed. So, these electrons, the backscattered electron or the secondary electrons will tell about the surface topography. Okay. Even though it penetrates through 1 to 5 micrometers range, these backscattered electrons are going to give the topography. Next. So, backscattered electrons. For these electrons, the electric scattering is proportional to the atomic number Z for the compositional contrast. So, surface electrons are going to, secondary electrons are going to give the topography and backscattered electrons are going to see the compositional contrast. So, SC or BSC, that means secondary electrons or backscattered electrons are collected by the detectors. Both electrons can be connected by the detectors. Solid state quadrants for BSC, amplified and synchronized with scan position to form gray-scaled images. So, what are the images that are formed? The output of the scanning electron microscope is generally we are going to get the gray-colored images. Okay, gray-scaled images of the resolution of less than 1 nanometers. X-rays enables EDS for elemental one dimension. Okay, what is the signal? Analog signals from the detectors pass through video amplifiers, processed into digital pixels and displayed in real time on CRT or LCD with brightness and contrast adjustments. Modern SIMs use frame averaging for noise reduction. Okay, so finally we are going to look the images, gray-scale images with surface topography, morphology and all. So, how they look like? They look with a grey colored images of several orders, and also we are going to have the insides of the material. How we can know about the insides of the material? Because by knowing the by knowing the peaks of the particular surfaces, we can know about the elemental composition. We can also get the elemental composition and we can also get surface topology, how the atoms are arranged and all. So, by this we can know about how by using SIM, we can know about the surface properties of the material and also we can know about the elemental composition. So, now coming to the advantages, it is used in a variety of fields including industrial uses and nano science studies, biomedical studies, microbiology also. Used for spot chemical analysis in energy dispersive X-ray spectroscopy. Okay, used in analysis of cosmetic components which are very tiny in size. Used to study the filamental structures of microorganisms, and these are used to study the topography of elements used in industries. So, there are several purposes of SIM. Okay, so when we are for example, if we want to focus on real time applications, if we are going to build a new we are going to have a new material. if you are going to compose a new material. So the new material, we do not know about the final composition of the material. We know about the initial components, but we do not know about how the material will be framed with the final composition. Then if we do the sim for that particular material, we can know about how the atoms are arranged, atomic arrangement, and how the surface topography, surface morphology can be detected, and also we can know about the elemental composition. Okay, so now they are easy to operate. Finally, about the sim and its operation, block diagram operation, advantages of block diagram operation. What are the advantages? They are easy to operate and having user-friendly interfaces. They are used in variety of industrial applications to analyze the surfaces of solid object. The main purpose is to analyze the surface of the object. Okay, solid object surfaces. Some modern sims are able to generate digital data that can be portable. It is easy to acquire the data from sim within a short period of time of about 5 minutes. Okay, what are the limitations now? They are very expensive to purchase. There will be very bulky to carry. The block diagram that we have seen is very small, but the instrument is very large. Okay, they are bulky to carry and they must be used in rooms that are free of vibrations and free of electromagnetic elements. They must be maintained with a constant voltage. So, in this video lecture, you have learnt about scanning electron microscope and block diagram and its working principle. So, what is the scanning electron microscope finally? Scanning electron microscope will gives us the surface topography, morphology, and some elemental composition of the given material. And what is the working principle? In the block diagram, it consists of a electron gun, and electron gun is going to generate the electrons, and we are going to incident those electrons on the our required specimen. So, after passing through several condensation lengths and all. Okay, so this is the arrangement. Now, what is the working principle? The working principle is the incident electrons that are going to take some electrons from the surface. Okay, and they will produce secondary electrons and backscattered electrons. Secondary electrons are generated from the surface of the specimen or surface of the material, whatever it may be. Material are the specimen both one and the same. So, surface of the secondary electrons are generated from the surface of the specimen, and backscattered electrons are the electrons that are just deviating after incident on the surface of the specimen. So, these two are going to give us different elemental different surface topography, morphology, and compositions. So, this is about the SIM, scanning electron microscope. Thank you.